Hello and welcome. My name is Tiffany Reed. I'm a Regional Vice President from Tulsa, Oklahoma, and we are going to talk about creating a lust for life, and whether that is building a life that you truly love, or maybe a life that you have fulfillment, or that you can fulfill your purpose on this planet. We're going to discuss how Arbonne may be a vehicle for you to get those things from life. But I'm going to tell a quick story about a newlywed couple, and the wife was cooking a ham one day, and she cut off both ends of the ham and put it in the oven, and the husband said, "That is the best part of the ham. Why did you do that?" And she said, "I don't know. It's because that's how my mom did it." And so they called her mom, and her mom didn't know either. She said, "Well, I don't know. That's how my mom always did it." So they called the grandma, and the grandma said, "Well, honey, it's because my pan was too small. That's why I had to cut the ends off." So the reason that I tell that story is because as human beings, and there are a lot of reasons that we do the things that we do and ideas that we have about how we're supposed to live life. We don't always know exactly where they come from. So I'm going to ask you to watch this with that open heart and open mind, because it's a lot outside of a lot of people's comfort zone looking at a business like this, maybe for the first time. But my background is actually in nursing, and I was an ICU nurse for years and a radiology nurse, and I loved my job. But the fact of the matter is that I loved my family more, and it wasn't meeting our financial or our time needs. And just a little snapshot of what my life looked like when Arbonne entered is that I had just returned from California. I had spent 3 months halfway across the country from my family, from my daughter and my husband, to raise money so that we could pay off a little bit more of our debt. We had done the American dream, which is where we had made more money. We had spent it. We were in the financial hamster wheel, is what I like to call it sometimes. And I had lost some choices. I had lost the choice to stay at home with my daughter. I had lost the choice to be as generous as I like to be, and to travel like we like to travel. And my idea of how to fix those problems was to go to graduate school for nursing anesthesia. And I was actually in the process of getting ready to apply to one of those programs when Arbonne fell into my life. And honestly, when I very first saw Arbonne, I saw it as a way to support myself while I was going through graduate school. That was how little my vision was. And honestly, my pride was so big that a business like this was certainly not going to be part of my future until I saw the bigger picture. And I went to a Mercedes presentation, and I did see the big picture, and I decided that this is what I was going to do. This was my plan. And my entire family thought I was crazy. They thought I had lost my mind, including my husband. And not until they saw the big picture of Arbonne were they on board. And that actually took some time. So I'm glad that you're looking at the big picture of Arbonne. So I am going to share my screen here so that you can, we're going to fly through some of these slides so I can tell you a little bit more about what Arbonne is. First of all, as a company, Arbonne is more than 35 years old, and why that is so important is because network marketing companies only have a 10% survival rate at 10 years. So that means 90% of new ground floor opportunities for new network marketing companies are going to fail, which is super frightening if you're thinking of investing your time and your money into something. So the basis of our business is our products. And if you haven't tried our products, please try our products, because they are the easiest thing about our business. They're plant-based. They're incredible ingredients in them. And a lot of it is because we are actually formulated in Europe. We're formulated in Europe with European standards. And the difference just in skincare, for something to be legal in Europe, there are 1,100 ingredients that cannot be in it. For here in the United States, there are only 10 ingredients that are illegal. So that gives you a little bit of idea of the difference of formulation integrity. What's also important is what is not in our products. We do not have gluten, petroleum, any animal byproducts, and they're never tested on animals. Even parabens. Parabens are known to be linked to breast cancer, and they're actually preservative that gives a product a 10 to 30-year shelf life, and they're still completely legal in our United States. We don't have any artificial sweeteners, colors, or flavors in any of our nutritional products. We have a scientific advisory board that is making decisions, that has the background to make those decisions, which is wonderful. We have product lines from all different categories. There are over 450 products that Arbonne has. Our two main product lines that have put us on the map are our anti-aging skincare line. If you have not tried it, ask for a sample. And our 30 Days to Healthy Living, which isn't just a program that makes you lose weight. It's actually an education program that is truly a grassroots movement that helps teach, train people how to eat clean, and it teaches the differences or the things that are happening in our food supply. And it's phenomenal. If you haven't heard of it, ask your consultant. So why Arbonne and why now? First, we are a company of consumable products. And what that means is that when you use a product and run out of it, you need more. And that creates a very strong customer base, which creates a very strong and stable business for us. Demand for health and wellness is at an all-time high. People are even looking at ingredients for their dog food. And that means people are listening and they're paying attention to the ingredients that are in their skincare and into their nutritional products. And we've been doing this for 35 years, and we know, and we're very good at formulating things with very good ingredients. The ability to leverage time, which we'll talk about here in a minute, an internet-based business. And all that means is that we have virtual franchises. So anywhere that we have access to the internet, whether we're in a small town, a big town, halfway across the world, we can tend to our business. And that gives us a lot of freedom and flexibility. Okay, so why now? And I'm actually going to pause here for a second and talk about this. So I listened to a training that really hit me right in the heart, that's about our country and the things that are going on in our country. And here are a few statistics that were so surprising to me. First of all, 76% of people are stressed about work or money in our country right now. 85% are unhappy or dissatisfied with work. That is horrible. So if you think about, you may even have a great job, but that great job may not give you time with your family, or it may not be giving you finances. And there are a lot of people out there that say, well, I just don't even have a great job at all. So with as much time as we're spending working for someone else, it's just so sad that 85% are unhappy with that. There are less than 50% of Americans that are considered middle class, and that is actually trending down. NPR had an article called War on the Middle Class, and it was so surprising because incomes are actually stabilizing, or they're in a lot of cases decreasing, but inflation is at an almost all-time high with different things that we just need for our lives, including healthcare cost. Credit card debt is a completely normal part of our society. It didn't used to be. And just the cost of day-to-day living, housing, things like that. And it makes me so sad because people that I really love in my life may not be able to retire. And that it's very disturbing. There's a whole generation of men and women that are also coming out of college that not only mostly have a large student debt, but cannot find careers in their career fields. Starbucks and Best Buy are actually the #1 employer of college graduates. And so what that's doing for them is they're not getting career experience, and that also affects their income potential into their 30s. So there's just a lot of things going on in our society now it's a lot different than it was. There are $181 billion in the network marketing industry globally in 2013. 181 billion. Okay, the NFL is 9.5 billion. Natural foods is 90 billion, and the movie industry is 88 billion. Network marketing, 181 billion. So if you're skeptical about network marketing, the legitimacy of network marketing, or if you know someone that is, a lot of these statistics are very challenging to continue with that skepticism. So we're going to look again. Okay, so what exactly is network marketing? Because I didn't understand it when I was first exposed to it. But basically, if you buy a product from traditional retail, if you get something at the mall, it has to pass through all of these hands and all of these expenses before we end up with a final cost that we pay for. So all of this overhead is included in the price that we pay for a product. So what we're able to do with a company like Arbonne is we're able to take all of that overhead and just think about how much money companies spend on advertising. And we're able to sink that money into research and development and into our consultants, because we are actually who is doing the advertising for this company. It's called, instead of being an entrepreneur, it's called being an entrepreneur, which what that means is that we operate our businesses under the umbrella of another company that absorbs all the risk. So we just bring the customers. Basically, all we do is we stop purchasing products from other places. We start getting better formulations at a discount, and then we share that with others and teach them how to do the same. It's very simple. Time leveraging. So it starts with you. And in my nursing career, we trained a lot of new nurses. And this is how this works. So when I started my Arbonne business, I was working full time and I had a little girl, and 10 hours a week was all that I could fit into the nooks and crannies of my life. So as you explain to people what Arbonne is and what it offers them, you're going to find people that are looking for what we have. So let's just say you have one person here that you found that is wanting to retire, and you found another person that was just needing some time freedom for their family. Well, they meet some people and they treat them or train them to do the same. And here in this picture, there are 8 people. So that would be 80 hours of work that I get compensated just for doing my 10. So if you're training other people in your job, it would be like every nurse that I ever trained, I get paid a percentage of every hour that they ever worked. And the neat thing is, especially on our team, is that what that means is that you need a servant's heart, because you are not going to be successful unless you are vested in really helping other people be successful as well. And that's how we build global businesses, because you may not know someone in Canada, the UK, Poland, Australia. We're opening in Taiwan next summer, and then New Zealand is coming after that. So you may not know those people. I just returned from a business trip to Indiana. I had never set foot in that state, and we have a huge team there. And it's the beauty of being able to build this business over the internet. So there are 4 ways that we make money with Arbonne. The first way is by selling product. The second way is by building a team. The third way is by our Mercedes-Benz bonus. When you reach your vice president level, they give you $800 every month for whatever white Mercedes you want. And that's not why I joined this business, but it's definitely a huge perk that I absolutely love. The fourth way is by cash bonuses, and that means at every level you get an extra cash bonus just for doing a good job. Now I love this, because honestly, this is what kept me skeptical about businesses like this. Is I thought that these maybe made a couple $100s a month, or if you're really working hard, maybe $1,000 a month. So district manager, there are 4 levels of management. District manager, we train our team to get there between 1 and 3 months. The average income is $200 to $800. And for a lot of Americans, that makes a huge difference. Area manager is the second level of management. It took me about 9 months to get to this level. The average income is anywhere from $1,000 to $4,000 a month. That replaces teachers' incomes in Oklahoma. But when I actually started to listen at the presentation where I was, she said that you can, at this level, you can actually will your business for 3 generations to your family. And I thought, whoa, I need to do the math on that because, I was working in a trauma unit at the time, and I know sometimes bad things happen. And if anything were to happen to me tomorrow, my business is still going to be paying my family. Like, those paychecks will still come. And in a book that I like to read, it says that you are supposed to leave an inheritance to your children's children. And with the state of affairs in our country right now, that's just not happening very often. So this is an asset that you can build for your family. Regional vice president, the average income at that level is anywhere from $4,000 to $8,000. This is the level promotion that allowed me to step away from full-time nursing. And I still work a couple of days a month just to keep my skill set, and because I would like to go do nursing for people that can't pay for it. And whether that's in a mission trip or volunteering at one of the mobile places, that's an option that this has given me. National vice president, the average income at that level is about $2,200 a month. And to be honest, this is why I started this business. I didn't have time in my life for mall money. It was go big or go home. And there's no limit to how many national vice presidents can promote. So we are going to have a huge team of national vice presidents. So there are different ways that people can be involved with Arbonne. We know that the business isn't necessarily for everyone, and that's okay. If you haven't hosted, just got a couple people over to learn more about our products, to earn some products that you can be using, please do that with the person that asked you to watch this, because that is where you really learn about the heart and soul of what it is that we do. You can be a client or a preferred client. A client purchases products at retail. I'm not sure why you would want to do that, because a preferred client, you can actually purchase at a discount. And for $20, anyone can sign up to purchase at least a 20% discount, up to 40, and sometimes even more. But what I love about this is probably one of the most brilliant things that Arbonne did as a business, because we get to sell Arbonne to our friends at a discount, and sometimes at a higher discount than we can buy it as a consultant. So that feels really good that you can do that. It also makes it possible for us to have clients all over the United States. I probably have preferred clients in at least 10 different states. And as a business, we don't have to stock product. So when you join the business, you don't have to buy a lot of product that sits in your Arbonne closet that you run around and deliver all night, because I can't think of one person that I know that has time to do that. The third way is by being a consultant, and there are 3 ways that people use their consultant's ID numbers. You can just use it for the additional discount for yourself, which is what a lot of my nutrition customers do, and they love that. If you want to order for your friends and family and use the discounts that you get from that for yourself to kind of support your habit, a lot of people decide to do that as well. Or the third way is by using this to make money. And whether it's a little bit of money or a lot of money, we can help you do either, and you are in total control of that. So I just invite you to dream big, because there's so much negative programming that happens in our heads and in our societies that you can finish listening to this video, and even though there's been some spark of hope that may have happened in your heart, within 10 minutes, you can have yourself talked out of this. Or the first phone call that you make and say, oh my gosh, I'm excited. I'm thinking about maybe doing Arbonne. And I'm like, oh, those things don't ever work. Please don't do that. And what if it does work? I just want you to think for just a minute, like, what would your days look like? How would you spend your time? How would you spend your finances? You know, if you didn't have to worry about your family's finances, how would you bless other people? And there are some things that hold people back. And one thing is that they think that they don't know enough people. And honestly, when I started my business, I was far less supported by the people that I knew than I thought I would be. And honestly, I feel like finding new people just from the beginning is sometimes easier because it's easier on your pride. The second thing is that we don't have time. And I think that that is the brilliant thing about this business is you can fit it in the nooks and crannies of your day. So whether that's on a drive to work, on a drive home, on a lunch hour, at a soccer game, at a baseball game, anywhere that you are, you're out and about and you're busy, you can be doing your business because our business is simply talking to people. It doesn't mean that you have to sell everyone that you meet or that you have to spew Arbonne to everyone that comes your way. We actually discourage that, which leads me to my last hesitation that sometimes people have is that they say, well, I'm not a salesperson. And to me, that is music to my ears because people want to buy things, but they don't want to be sold to. So the more this is about relationships and about you truly caring about someone and just sharing something that you love with them, the better. So we're looking for people. We're looking for people to teach and train to do this. And there's a formula. There's really 4 things and that's really all you need to be successful in this business. You have to be coachable. You have to be willing to grow. You have to not quit. And you have to work hard. That's it. If you're willing to do those 4 things, it's just a matter of time before this is what your business looks like. And I know these pictures are a lot of ladies, but we have a ton of men that are joining our teams because the nutrition has just really, really set that part of our business up for a lot of male involvement, and it's been great. So will you please message the person that invited you to this call and let them know if you're a 1, 2, or 3, because we're not pushy. We just need to know where you stand so we can know how to help you best next. Number 1 is if you love the products, you might be open to hosting and just seeing a little bit more about what it is that we truly do. You're a 2 if something that you heard sparked something in your heart. And you might want to sit down and have another conversation about what questions or concerns you have, or maybe how we can help you fit this into your life. And number 3 is if you would wish that you had started this business yesterday, because we know that there are so many people out there looking for creative ways to make extra streams of income and to help their families and help them have more time freedom. So thank you so much for listening. And if you have any questions, please ask the person that invited you to watch this video. Thank you.